This is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. This is stunning. It's the best wedding venue in Europe.
That's correct, in 2023.
That is extraordinary. So today I've got a real treat in store for you guys. I'm at the Gino Park Palace Hotel in Povazska Bystrica, and we've got so much stuff in store for you today. We've got a tour of the manor house. We've got a tasting menu of Georgian cuisine. There's a Christmas vibe going on. We've got a tour of the manor house, as well as looking at some wellness. There's even a cool chapel in the manor house. Dates back to the 17th century. But come, take a voyage with me first. It's got an impressive driveway as well, so I'm going to get my steps in. One of the coolest parts of this hotel is the most dramatic entrance as you arrive at your destination. Just a couple of hours away from Bratislava, located not far from Trenčín or Žilina, Povazska Bystrica is famous, again, unsurprisingly, for a castle. But this venue is definitely worth visiting, Gino Park Palace. Come and spend a special day with me here today. Now we've navigated that very dramatic and windy driveway, we've arrived at the beautiful Gino Park Palace Hotel. And as you can see, it's not just a stunning building, it's a beautiful day as well we have here. But why don't we take a quick look and see what's inside? Come on, follow me. And here I am at the Gino Park Palace. So I'm delighted to be joined by Thomas, who is going to give me a quick history of the manor house. So,
absolutely.
How old is this place?
Well, this place was built in 1612 by the Hungarian aristocratic family Balasha, who moved here from a nearby Povazska castle. You know, the castles were a little bit outdated and not very popular anymore, so they decided to build a beautiful manor house like this. Originally, it was one ground floor manor house, and these columns we see here are original from this period. Later, the manor house was reconstructed in 1733. Beautiful barrel walls, beautiful place.
So you mentioned earlier that you're from here, you're local, you're very proud and you're very happy that a lot of money has gone into restoring this place into a hotel. It's not very often that you go to a hotel and there's a chapel. How come they kept the chapel?
Well, of course, Balashas, even they were evangelists or Protestants, they were very religious, and they paid attention to have their own private chapel. But what was very special about this chapel, that they allowed public, ordinary people to enter the chapel for mass.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. I can show you door.
Yeah, we're going to go check out the chapel now. But before we go there, can I ask, is this the only hotel in Slovakia that has a chapel inside?
As far as I know, yes.
Super cool. Gino Park Palace Hotel may quite possibly be the only hotel in Slovakia that has a chapel inside from the 16th or 17th century. That is one hell of an achievement.
Absolutely.
So, let's go have a look at the chapel.
Let's have a look.
So, we're in a chapel, and I don't know why I'm speaking in a lower tone, but maybe out of reverence and respect. This was reconstructed as late as 1733, Thomas. Do people come here specifically for the chapel?
Well, this chapel is still active. There are being weddings, all the weddings here, and masses every Saturday as well. So it's still an active place, and it's not only for the hotel guests who can have a wedding here, but also for public people. And it's always have been for the public people as well. As you see, those doors, which are from the outside, was from the ordinary people of Orlove and Povazska Bystrica who could enter this place. And the aristocrats, the Balasha family, was of course sitting on the top, on the core of this chapel. So it was always, and still is, luckily, a very active place.
Now, I'm not a very religious man, but I'm a very big fan of history, and I love things that just demonstrate how much time, care and attention to detail in restoration is really important to keep a grasp of history. And this is a very beautiful place, and thank you very much for inviting me in. It's absolutely stunning. there's something of significance about the edifice, the actual building itself.
Absolutely. So here we are always talking about reconstruction, and here on the main facade we see how the mansion looked like in the past and after, before and after the reconstruction. So the ground floor you see the quadratic Renaissance windows, and on the second floor you see the Baroque and decorated windows from the restoration from 1733. We've got here a chronogram which is the memory of this reconstruction and dedication to the Zsigmond and Pavel Balasas. But on the chronogram you have usually a year, but there is no year.
There's no date
here, or you don't see it on the first side. But if you take a closer look, you see the capital letters like Zsigmond, Haza, IM, DH, and if you collect these capital letters together, you get the year 1733.
So the SI, only, what was his name? Dan Brown. It's like a Dan Brown novel.
It's like, like a...
What was the name of the guy who finds out the Da Vinci Code? What was his name? Yeah, it's the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So on my walks around Gino Park Palace already, one of the things that caught my eye was obviously this very magnificent coat of arms, but there's a little bit of history that goes here. So Thomas, tell me a little bit about this magnificent coat of arms.
Well, absolutely. This is the memory of the family who owned the castle, the Balassa family, and the coat of arms of Pavel Balassa, who reconstructed this place in 1733, and his wife Juliana Baťany. Both were very old aristocratic Hungarian families, and the family tree of the Balassa family dates back to 1200s.
Wow.
And they were always very important and very loyal to the king, supported the education, building schools, and important for the country itself.
Real gold?
Real gold.
Real gold, look at that. It's beautiful, it really is beautiful, and it's nice to see that history is preserved here in Slovakia. I know that I asked my wife, I joke a little bit with my wife talking about Slovak aristocracy, and she tells me there is none, it's just Hungarian aristocracy. But it's lovely to see this coat of arms, and it's a real eye-catching feature of the hotel. Thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
So on our last stop, we've come to a room which is called a hunting lodge. And this reminds me of being back home in the UK. We've got a pool table or a billiards table here, and some extraordinary artifacts and cupboards and so forth. Thomas, tell me a little bit about the history of this room.
So this room is the warmest room in the mansion, therefore it is the favorite or the most popular room where the aristocrats were basically sitting and having their good time. It was warmest because of the original fireplace we still have here. We were talking a lot about Balasas, but I have to mention one later owner of this place who was a Czech, a wonderful virtuoso, violin virtuoso, Jan Kubelik, who was playing shows all over the world, and he met Queen Victoria or even the Pope. He played a concert for 100,000 people in San Francisco, and he later bought this mansion, and maybe this room inspired him. So we can imagine him sitting here, smoking a cigar and
drinking a brandy
and writing his new music.
Yeah, so composing his sonnets and his music here. But I can tell you one thing, guys, that if you know me well as the Slovak Ambassador, I think this room is very fitting for me, don't you? I think I'd probably spend a lot of time in the hunting lodge, swilling a port or maybe a nice well-aged whiskey. Maybe I'll do that later. Maybe I'll play some billiards. Gino Park Palace, fabulous. Heavily recommend. Now the good part of the filming today. We've shot outside at the Gino Park Palace, and we've had a tour of the manor park and the grounds itself. We've been inside. Now we get to do the eating part. Now this is the best part of my job, and today I'm very fortunate that there's a special menu that has been created for me, a degustation menu of Georgian specialities. And of course, it's impossible for me to enjoy all of this food alone. I'm delighted to have been joined by Lubos. Lubos, thank you very much for being my accomplice.
It's my pleasure.
And we're going to talk Georgian food. We're going to drink brandy. Apparently at 11 o'clock, we have to start with a brandy. It'd be rude not to.
I get very excited.
It's Christmas, so any excuse to drink at Christmas is a good excuse. And apparently we're meant to shoot it all in one go. We'll swill it around.
All in one go.
This is going to be a very interesting shooting. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Very smooth.
Very nice.
Well, hopefully I'm able to speak lucidly for the rest of the degustation menu. And one thing I'm curious about is Georgian food. Now, is it popular in Slovakia?
I think so. It's very popular. People get interesting about it and they want to try it. So that's why we're doing those kind of things here in Manor.
It's great because I do a lot of these things, and you know, to be honest, I do a lot of stuff for Slovak food, and there's quite a lot of similar delicacies or similar traits of Slovak food. And I've had the fortune, I've been very privileged to have traveled to Tbilisi on a couple of occasions, and it's the birthplace of wine. So Georgia claims to be the place where wine originated.
That's correct.
So we've got a whole host of wines that we're going to be trying a little bit later, if I can still stand at this point, because already at 11 o'clock, well, it's 6 o'clock somewhere, I've had a brandy. But food, not much is known about Georgian cuisine. So I'm hoping today that have a look at this menu. It says Slovak Ambassador. So it's created specially for me. And we look forward to eating a whole array of food.
It's all about you and it's all about the Georgian food.
So thank you very much. My wife's downstairs and she would agree that everything is always about me. But Georgian food, before you worked at Gino Palace, was Georgian food something? Have you been to Georgia?
I've never been in Georgia.
No, I recommend it. It's beautiful. And is it a food that you tried before you?
I never tried the Georgian food.
So today's also your first?
No, it's not the first one.
Okay.
Because I did have a small bites before we all done all these cookings. But for me, it's going to be first time.
That's fantastic. And I understand that this menu will be available for people who are coming to stay at Gino Park Palace.
That's correct.
And feedback. People have they tried Georgian food here before?
They tried it here before because we already have a few events like this. So they tried it and they are very, very excited about it. They said it's pretty nice, very tasty. Okay, I'm very pleased to introduce our head chef, Matej.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He's a good cook,
Johnny.
So this,
Johnny.
Thank you so much. It looked lovely.
Welcome.
it's called the budridges. I've never heard that word before, but I'm guessing this is an aubergine.
It is an aubergine, yes, that's correct.
And it's filled with walnut.
It's filled with walnut and some garlic, a little bit of salt and a little bit of spices. On the top, we can see pomegranate and a pomegranate mousse,
Ooh.
which was made like a special for this occasion.
Oh, very.
It doesn't need to go with that things on the top.
Hashtag blessed. Shall we start?
I think so.
It'd be rude not to.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Dobry chut.
Dobru chuť.
How do you say bon appetit in Georgian?
That's the question.
Yeah, I don't think we know that. Maybe after the next brandy.
We're gonna find out. Enjoy.
Thank you. You like it?
I like it. It's really nice. It's really smooth.
Luboš is a lot more elegant than me. He had his a little bit slower. I ate mine very quickly.
It's my first time, so that's why I tried to enjoy, but it's really nice. I really enjoy it.
Thumbs up. Let's give it a mark out of 10. How much are we giving that out of 10?
11.
Giving it 11. Okay, it's a little bit biased. I'm British, so I'm a little bit more of a censor. So I'm going to go with an 8.5 out of 10.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you see, 8.5 out of 10. Thank God there's no halushki today. That's all I can say.
It's Georgian white wine. It's dry and should be year 2015.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tastes good.
Yum. Well, I'd be very disappointed if Georgian wine wasn't fantastic, and this doesn't disappoint. Tell me, Georgian cuisine, obviously, like Slovak cuisine,
Looks like here.
is not famous for vegetarians.
No.
This isn't a region for vegetarians, let's be honest.
That's actually true. When I look at the cuisines of Georgia, they're pretty much similar. But as you said, a lot of meat,
Yeah.
a lot of heavy stuff. So I don't think if you are vegetarian, it's a good idea to go to Slovakia or to Georgia.
It's funny, you know, the rest of the world panders to vegetarians. It's definitely not something that people think about so much here. I mean, does the Gino Park Palace have vegetarian options for people who are?
We do indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Few options, yeah, of course.
And
We do the fish and all other kind of things.
I don't trust vegetarians. If I was to have a massive party and anybody sent me an invitation, replied to the invitation that they were vegetarian, I would not accept them. I don't trust vegetarians. Meat is life.
Harcho.
Harcho. Ooh, yummy.
Harcho.
That's lovely, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Looks stunning.
Presentation on point.
Okay,
Let's go.
really nice. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. That's definitely my kind of soup. It's like a stew. It's more like a stew than a soup.
All the spices. It's a beef neck. It's a lot of rice and tomatoes. That's why I make the thickness and the texture of heavy and spiciness. It's very nice soup. I like it.
I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. This harcho.
Harcho.
See, I got it right second time. Maybe the wine helped. This is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. It hits the sweet spot. I love beef. I love something more stewy. It's not a soupy, it's not a brothy soup. It's like a stew. I'm converted now to Georgian cuisine.
10 of 10, really?
10 out of 10. You don't think that's a 10?
I would put 8 or 9.
8 or 9. I'm going to give it another go. It's definitely, I like Irish stew. If you ever had Irish stew.
I did, yeah. What do you think? Maybe bread with that or something?
Do I need bread? No, but to mop it up, in fact, the Italian word for the bread to mop up is called la scarpetta. Scarpetta is Italian for shoe, and it's like a shoe, a gravy shoe. But no, I'm fine without it.
Okay.
You need bread?
I don't need, no. I'm just asking you.
I really like the coriander too. Coriander's not used in Slovak cuisine, is it?
Not really much.
So it's good that there are different spices in Georgian cuisine. Tell me the weirdest place someone's come from that you would expect, like Cologne.
Slovakia.
No. Well, we've come from Slovakia, but tell me a little bit about the makeup of your guests. I heard someone today in the lounge. Yesterday, I heard someone from Germany was here, or Austria. There were some French people
There's
here.
the family from France here.
There's a family from France. So where are the mix of people that come to eat here and stay here from around the world?
Well, we try to figure out and put hotel Gino Park Palace, not just to stay in Slovakia.
Yeah.
We tried outside as well. So that's why we won the prize wedding hotel of the year.
Wedding
It's
hotel.
amazing, so people know about us because the prize was picked up from Prague. So was the other hotels as well, all the other manors from all over the country. So people know about us, which is really good.
So you beat Chateau Bella, you beat
Yes.
you beat all. What's the other fancy hotel?
It's not just the manor and hotel in Slovakia. It's all about Europe. So that was a
So this is the best wedding venue in Europe.
That's correct, in 2023.
That is extraordinary. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So the one that we've all been waiting for,
Hinkali.
Hinkali. Oh, well, that's pretty as a peach.
Hinkali.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looks amazing.
Looks amazing, and I think we're also going to have some wine as well.
As you can see, we're not using the cutlery this time.
We're going to use our hands.
We're gonna use our hands.
We're going to go basic.
We're gonna go basic, very basic.
Primal animals.
That's the dish from Georgia. You are allowed only use the hands.
This is stunning. And I'm going to eat it with my hands, which is very unusual.
You're normally using one hand. You just have a small bite.
Yeah.
Then you sip it, juice from inside.
Really?
And then you have a proper bite.
Oh,
You need to be careful because when you bite it, you can get splashed.
Here we go.
Touch them on the tail,
Uh-huh.
which is quite difficult, I would say. And then just have a small bite. And drinking the juice from inside, and then have a proper bite.
So you take the bite from the bottom.
Oh. And as I said earlier, it's getting messy.
It's getting messy.
Meat is from beef, it's neck, and also it's from the pork shoulder. Dough is the basic dough, made from flour, a little bit of oil, water, and salt.
This is heaven.
It's lovely, heavy and lovely.
This is my favorite thing in Georgian cuisine. But I'm worried about splashing, so I'm going to go against everything you said. I'm going to try and eat it all in one.
This is a special dish in Georgia. You can eat all night. So you always keep the tail from the dough and just leave it on the side. So everybody else can see how many you eat.
Oh, proof.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we have to give this a mark out of 10.
10.
You didn't even hesitate. I think that's 12 for me.
You gonna go for 12?
Yeah, that's just sensational. That's the stuff of dreams.
Ďakujem krásne. That was a lovely dish.
Oh, wow. Guys, you really missed out. I'm sorry. You guys got sandwiches. I got this. That's my favorite so far. Although, I have to confess, the charco was not far behind it. Well, the budridges, the eggplant rolls, they were good, but...
It was okay.
It was okay.
But I was expecting a little bit more.
Okay, so notes to the chef.
I will tell him.
Yeah, the red wine also was...
We need to ask for a little bit more red wine.
Yeah, he was a bit lacquer-me with the... Ooh, yum.
Khachapuri.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Jikimots. Okay,
Let's dig in.
let's dig in.
Looks lovely.
Looks lovely. Again, we have parsley and coriander. Very rich, huh? But smoky cheese. Is that an egg in the middle?
Yolk, yeah. Simple dish.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a dough and the cheeses. You can use any type of the cheese. And also, you can use brinza if you like. So you can make our way. It doesn't need to be Georgian, but you can put a little bit of brinza on top and you can make our ways.
Well, what is absolutely certain is that anyone who comes to Gino Park Palace who has the opportunity to sample Georgian delicacies will not be disappointed. There is something for everyone except vegetarians. This is definitely a hearty dish. I can imagine this is also a dish that people would really enjoy on a cold day. And it's very filling. So whoever's going to enjoy the menu this evening will not leave disappointed or feel shortchanged. Everybody will be sleeping well tonight.
You're absolutely right.
100%. And as marks out of 10 for the khachapuri, got it right this time, I'm going to go with a 9. That's a 9 for me. So far, budridges is the only thing that's something that I would happily live
The
without.
first meal, yeah.
And how much out of 10 are you going to give this?
I'm gonna go for the 9, definitely.
9. So we're in agreement there.
Gozinaki.
Kozinaki. Sounds Japanese. Kozinaki.
Kozinaki.
Kozinaki. Arimasu.
Thank you so much.
Mushi mushi. Okay, let's get stuck in.
Enjoy.
Thank you. You too. This is an almond with crystallized sugar.
Yeah, no caramel, yeah. Pomegranate. They also use the pomegranate and they made a mousse from the pomegranate.
Oh, wow. You should have that.
Simple,
Simple.
nice, and very good.
Eating, drinking, talking. That's the...
And have a good time.
And having a good time.
I really enjoyed.
I'm glad. I hope you did. That was the ambition.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine. And if I can make one recommendation to people who follow me on any social media or people that see my videos from abroad, that not just because I'm here in partnership with Gino Park Palace Hotel, but really this is a place where my family and I have been made to feel exceptionally welcome. And for me, that's perhaps more important than anything. From the minute we arrived, from the filming to the menu, to the lovely Georgian cuisine, this is definitely a place that I would recommend, whether you're in Slovakia or outside Slovakia. So I'm very humbled to have been invited, and I'm very blessed to have come and enjoyed such a wonderful menu and to have spent time in such great company. And Lubos, I would like to thank you and your staff.
Thank you.
and your chef and everybody in the hotel who's made today a very, very special day for me.
We thank you to you. Thank you for coming.
And I'm definitely going to come back, and I'm going to tell everybody to come here in the future.
We are looking more forward to it.
I will have to spend some more time in the gym again before I come back, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Pleasure all mine.
And that's a wrap for today at the Gino Park Palace Hotel. And what a day we've had, full of treats. There has been a fine dining Georgian cuisine that we have gorged ourselves upon. We've taken a tour of the whole grounds. We've had a sneak peek at the chapel inside a hotel. There aren't many hotels that actually claim to have a chapel inside. 17th century building, there's wellness, there's a spa. I heavily recommend the Gino Park Palace Hotel. What a day, and Merry Christmas, one and all.